Hey Perfume Junkies, welcome back. Or if you're new here, subscribe down below to join in on my perfume addiction. Alright, so here comes the music intro, and it'll tell you just a smidget about me. I am unapologetically me. I don't wanna be nobody else. I like to keep back out of my routine. And I got bad tattoos you won't believe. So, if you got the chance, let's go. One of the guys that rock and roll. Cut up the band, find out when I lose control. And now what do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart. So today I'm going to do my full perfume collection, but I'm going to do it in parts. So this is part 1 of my full perfume collection, and yes, it has grown quite enormously since my last full perfume collection video, which sucked, and I got a lot of hate comments on that. For some reason it hit the YouTube algorithm and quite a few people saw it, so hopefully this better version hits the YouTube algorithm and people see it, but it's much better than the last one. And I won't be using the word beautiful all the time to describe every fragrance, and I won't be saying rhubarb like that because I'm not nervous this time, and I was a nervous wreck last time. So I won't be getting, hopefully won't be getting as many hate comments on this one, so fingers crossed. Alright, so let's get right into it. These are the fragrances I'm going to talk about today. And I have some niche fragrances, some Guerlains, and some cologne house fragrances, which means they are dupes of designer niche or indie fragrances. So let's get right into it. First I have Fate by Amwaj. Fate is the most beautiful kind of otherworldly fragrance. This fragrance smells like opium, but in a different kind of way, like a lot of incense. So you take a little bit of that away, a little bit of the smokiness, add more of the herbaceous kind of savory spice to it, and that's the opening of this. But the dry down, you're gonna get shalimar and La Hair Blue, like mixed and swimming in like a concoction together. Oh, it just sings beautifully on my skin. You vintage lovers out there, I am telling you to check out Amwaj. You will not be disappointed. If you are a vintage lover, Amwaj is complex, beautiful, and perfect for vintage lovers. This is Amwaj Fate. Next, another one from the house of Amwaj. This is Amwaj Memoir. Amwaj Memoir is incense, clove, and wormwood, and it swirls together beautifully and it starts off kind of like herbaceous. I'll use that word again. I keep using that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but like a green quality with savory spice. So the cardamom and the wormwood is what you get mostly in the opening of this fragrance, and then it settles down to this beautiful sweetened incense and clove, but you really get like a plum kind of vibe, like dried plums, dried prunes, dried any kind of purple fruit, like dried grapes, which is raisins. It's just, it turns almost gourmand in the dry down, and it starts off just so it's hard to explain Amwaj fragrances, let me tell you. But this fragrance is like a leather jacket, sexy, badass woman kind of fragrance. If you wear this, you're pretty badass, let's just say. Very edgy. It's not your typical go-to kind of, it's not your typical, like, Delena fragrance. This isn't one for those girls that are into the sugary, sweet, uncomplex, generic, sweetened, toothachingly sweet fragrances. This is bad bitch quality right here. Amwaj Memoir. Hey, speak of the devil, next I have Delena. Alright, Delena is the most beautiful jammy rose with incense, nutmeg, rhubarb. Yes, I said rhubarb correctly this time. But, and then there's like some vanilla or something in here, sweeten everything up. It's just beautiful fragrance. It's well worth the price. But if you cannot afford the price, there are beautiful dupes out there from like the House of Noir fragrances, and definitely go for a dupe. It's beautiful. It's great to have in your collection. This scent is like no other. Definitely check out Delena by Parfums de Marly. Next I have Montal's Sweet Oriental Dream. Smells like powdered sugar cookies. Super powdery, by the way. It's like, if you don't love powder, definitely do not get this fragrance at all. But powdered sugar cookies and powdered, it's got honey, almond, vanilla, rose. But it's just beautiful in this hideous bottle. Like, Montal, what were you thinking with this cheap garbage bottles with the dangly thingies on them? It's like I'm going fishing and this is like a fish hook. Yeah, I'm not into these bottles. But nuclear fragrance, beautiful scent, just absolutely stunning. And it's not super expensive. You can find it well under $100 online. So definitely check out Montal fragrances if you want some cheaper but long-lasting niche fragrances. This is Montal's Sweet Oriental Dream. Next I have a very popular fragrance, and it is popular and hyped up for good reason. This is Baccarat Rouge by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And to me, this fragrance is salty cotton candy. That's like what I get. It's so weird. Salty cotton candy, or you make brown sugar cookie bars, but salted brown sugar cookie bars. That's what I get from this. It's like kind of salty, kind of sweet. It's really beautiful, and I know it's really hyped up, but I think it's well worth the hype. And if you cannot afford Baccarat Rouge $540, definitely go for some dupes. There are a lot of dupes out there, and Al Hermane makes a rouge something dupe. Definitely check that one out. There's a dupe from Noir Fragrances. They make excellent quality fragrances. You can get a dupe from there. But yeah, this is just a beautiful, completely unique fragrance. That's why it's so talked about. It's just so unique. Such a stunning, polarizing fragrance. Check this out, definitely. If you've got a sweet tooth or a salty tooth or a sweet and salty tooth, check out Baccarat Rouge 540 by MFK. Alright, now we're going to get into Guerlain. The House of Guerlain is a very famous French house, and it's very old, one of the oldest houses in perfume, and they have some long time standing fragrances that have stood the test of time and people still love them today, like Mitsuko, La Hair Bleu, Shalimar. It's just, oh, I love Guerlain. There is one thing that I will say about Guerlain. There has been some racism in the House of Guerlain from the great-great-grandson of the original person, the original guy. Well, the great-great-grandson's name was Jean-Paul Guerlain, and he created Samsara. He said some bad things on national television using the N-word, and I'm sure he hurt a lot of people's feelings, and so I don't think I'm ever gonna get Samsara. It's been heavily reformulated and butchered during that reformulation anyways. So this is what I have, and I will be getting more from Guerlain. I have been eyeballing the niche quality Guerlain fragrances like Gourmand Cocaine, Tonka Imperial, Spiritus du Vanille. But this is what I got, so let's get right into that. First, I'm going to talk about the House of Guerlain's line called La Petite Robe Noir. This is La Petite Robe Noir by Guerlain, and this is my favorite designer fragrance of all time. This is the most beautiful, sour, realistic cherry on top of a licorice type Lolita Lempicka base with the Guerlain Iris Vanilla base underneath. And it's just such a unique standout fragrance. It has black tea in it. It's got licorice. It's got rose, like a really nice jammy rose. It's got cherry in it. All of my favorite things swirling together in this beautiful fragrance. Oh, it's just so stunning. It is not talked about very often. So yeah, definitely get your hands on La Petite Robe Noir by Garland. But let me tell you, this is polarizing. And this isn't your candy sweet kind of fragrance. This is your sour cherry, just so you know. La Petite Robe Noir by Guerlain, and this is the EDP. I have the Black Perfecto version. This particular one is leather and cherry and jammy rose with all of the other contents of the original, but it is mostly about that jammy rose and that leather and then the cherry. So it's definitely unisex. Men can wear this and smell super, super sexy. This is a beautiful fragrance for edgy people. This is your leather jacket, motorcycle type fragrance. Very sexy, beautiful. Oh, Kayleen, there you go again, saying beautiful all the time. Oh well, but it's beautiful. It's Black Perfecto from the La Petite Robe Noir Guerlain line. Alright, next I have the La Petite Robe Noir Eau Fraiche. And this one starts off with quite a few citrus notes, but there is a heavy, manly type barbershop bergamot note, just so you know. So it is masculine in the opening. But as this fragrance dries down, you get a fluffy almond note, a pistachio note, the Guerlain Iris Vanilla base as well. It's a beautiful fragrance for the summer and spring months. Definitely check out La Petite Robe Noir Eau Fraiche. I have my bee bottles. This is Insolence EDT by Guerlain. Now this one smells like raspberry candy. It's got a raspberry note on the top and then a violet powdery base. So if you do not like powdery fragrances, stay far, far away from Insolence. I do want to pick up the Eau de Parfum version because that version doesn't have that raspberry quality and it's all about the beautiful powdery violet. And I like violet quite a bit. Violet's one of my favorite notes. And this fragrance is very fairy-like. It's like it transports you into this candy-like fairy world, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. So yeah, there you go again. I just said beautiful again. Oh well, this is Insolence EDT by Guerlain. Next I have L'Instant Magic by Guerlain, another powdery fragrance. So if you don't love powder, steer very clear from this fragrance. It is polarizing. Some days I absolutely love it and I crave it, and other days I'm underwhelmed by it. I find that it performs really good in on hotter days, and it lasts a little bit longer and sticks around quite a bit, and then I don't know, on cold days it does too. So this fragrance is just very strange. It's almond heavy with iris and the Guerlain base, and I think there's anise in here. It's a very interesting fragrance. Definitely check it out, sniff it, sample it if you can first. It's very pretty, very, very pretty. That's L'Instant Magic by Guerlain. Next from Guerlain, I have Mon Guerlain. Everybody knows her, everybody talks about her. She is mothering, comforting, lavender, tonka, licorice, vanilla base. Well, no, the lavender sits on top of a tonka, licorice, vanilla base. Very comforting with that lavender note. Very beautiful, thick licorice vanilla. And it's very different and unique. And I think that's why it's so hyped up, is the uniqueness and the beauty that this fragrance is. So if you haven't already checked out Mon Guerlain, definitely check out Mon Guerlain. You won't be disappointed. I have the two Shalimars in my collection. The original Shalimar, and I have the EDT formulation. I bought the EDT for Nancy, who's featured quite a bit in my videos. She is my great aunt-in-law, and she has Chantilly, which is a dupe for Shalimar, but it's a cheap, low-quality dupe. So I wanted to get her the quality of Guerlain. So this is for her, but I wanted to include this in the video. It starts off a very leathery, kind of rubbery, smoked lemon that then turns into a beautiful, powdery vanilla creme brulee. Very interesting fragrance. There's a reason it has stood the test of time, and it still remains one of the top fragrances in the world. That's Shalimar. A super sexy version of Shalimar, that is Shalimar Soufflé Intense, and this fragrance smells like creme brulee, mother effin' lay, creme brulee. And this smells like creme brulee, but this is like a sweetened creme brulee, like the super, super sweet. So the very dry down of this smells like the very dry down. When you get past all of the more classic style notes, and then you get into the sweetness in here, that's what this is. It takes all that sweetness and just amps it up, and then you're going to get white flowers in here. I think there's orange blossom, jasmine, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'm just getting the most beautiful vanilla, like niche quality vanilla from this fragrance. Definitely check out Shalimar Soufflé. Your wallet will thank you for picking this over something way more expensive, and you're still going to get amazing quality, beautiful gourmand fragrance. Shalimar Soufflé Intense. But not least, I have L'Instant de Guerlain, means the Guerlain moment. And some people might not like my tastes in fragrance. My taste is a lot more mature than most people my age. I am 25, turning 26 on the 16th. And my taste is very complex, mature, dark, heavy fragrances or florals. Or just much different than most girls my age. So keep that in mind when I talk about fragrances. This one is a beautiful honeyed magnolia on top of iris and vanilla. So it's on top of the Guerlain base, but you're getting this gorgeous honey dripping on a beautiful magnolia. Some people say this smells like old lady, but okay, so you associate flowers with old women. Okay, good for you. I think you're the only person that thinks that this smells like old lady. Well, maybe not the only person. A lot of people tend to associate florals with old women, but this is not old lady at all. That's L'Instant de Guerlain. Alright, next I have 3 clones or dupes from clone houses or dupe houses. So let me get into that. The first one I have is from the fabulous house of Noir. Noir Fragrances Caramel Delight. Ooh, it's so beautiful. There you go again. You said beautiful again. But anyways, it's so beautiful. It's magnificent. It's beast. So strong. But anyways, it smells like orange, cinnamon, vanilla, like a pie, but like an orange pie. If that makes sense, like think apple pie, but orange pie. It's very interesting, but this is an inspired expression for Lyra by the house of Xerjoff. I don't know how to say that. But anyways, it's supposed to be just like Lyra, but stronger and more beast mode. I'm happy to own this. It's great for the fall and winter. Next we have Fructis Virginius from the house of Alexandria-Fragrances. This smells like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, a cherry on top of kind of like a hypnotic poison type base. So you're getting cherry and almond and vanilla, and it's very sensual, sexy, and beautiful, and alluring, and a date night type scent for sure. I wish I had the real Tom Ford Lost Cherry because, woo, gorgeous. But this lasts longer and projects more. Beautiful fragrance. Fragrances Unlimited version of Baccarat Rouge 540. And I own Baccarat, and this smells a lot like Baccarat Rouge 540. I mean, it projects, it's beast mode, it lasts, but there is something a little bit more complex in the Baccarat Rouge 540 that cannot be duplicated by any house. There's something much more depth to it, I guess you could say, but this smells like the essence of the Baccarat Rouge 540, and I'm not disappointed. I like this a lot. And yeah, so that's the Baccarat Rouge 540 dupe. Hope you guys enjoyed this small little part 1 of my fragrance collection video. You got to know me just a little bit, and hopefully this hits the YouTube algorithm and I reach out to more people and more people see me and more people get into the lost land of vintages and spicy fragrances and complex fragrances and join my weirdo fragrance junkies. Alright, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to join in on my perfume addiction. Alright, bye!